Assalamu alaikum, my name is Federica. I am originally Italian from Rome. So it did start when a friend of mine invited me for iftar, but I wasn't fasting. She was Muslim and she said, just come, you can come over. And I said, no, because that's not my thing. I mean, I'm not fasting. Why are you inviting me? And she said, no, don't worry. So when I went there, so I heard about fasting as well in the past, because Christians as well, they're supposed to be fasting. And for my family never fast as Christians. So it was completely new, the fact that of, the topic, the subject of fasting. Actually, at some point, I even felt it was cruel, let people stay away from food and drink for so many hours. People, they work and under, weather conditions that could be very hot. How could God ask that? These type of questions, so you could go across and think of it. When I went there, I found family, I found the gathering, that environment, atmosphere that was great. It made me feel so good about it. I started feeling more that everybody was fasting for the same purpose, which made me feel more into it. So since then, I started thinking, okay, this is so nice. And I kept on going, maybe 2-3 times more during Ramadan. But I was really fascinated by lots of things I was seeing from the Muslims. I had the Quran at home, and the Quran was on the shelf for maybe a year. I never opened it. And then I opened it one day, and I remember opening and finding Surah Al-Qiyamah. I read Surah Al-Qiyamah on the bit where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that He's going to put us back on with the fingerprints. When I read that, I had goosebumps. I could not believe it. I guess it was the first time I was reading about the proofs, the scientific science that Allah gave us in the Quran. I guess maybe it was the first one. That's why I was really impressed by it. And I read it again, and I felt like, and I said, I have to do my Shahada. That was the time when I really felt that I want to be a Muslim. So that was Ramadan, and there was a Ramadan iftar in Aldgate. And I was invited to go there by someone, I can't remember. And in there I found Yusuf Est, which is a motivational speaker on YouTube. I found this brother who told me, or was told that I was Italian, and I was there. And he said to me, do you want to do your Shahada? And when I've done it there, I was happy. I felt Muslim by heart. And since then, I start, I could say, knowing more sisters, because once I started wearing the hijab, I've realized this is what makes the hijab different for a woman to be identified as Muslim. And I felt so good about it. I felt like, I don't know, I had friends, even though I didn't know them. It made me feel more welcome into Islam as well. I could say at the first time, it was challenging. And I was searching. I was searching to understand how would I say to my parents that I was making a big change. And it was difficult because they were not happy. They were not happy at all. Especially because by the media, there was so much going on. My Italian parents listening to the news and that Muslims are this and this and that, and then their own daughter is becoming Muslim. They are concerned. So I did try to explain it to them, but it was difficult for me as well because I didn't have much knowledge about Islam. I was still studying and trying to understand. And I felt like it makes so much sense to me to not eat something which is not healthy to eat. I stopped eating pork and not drinking alcohol because Allah loves us. And when Allah's taking something away from us, it's for our benefit, it's beneficial for us. And it made so much sense to me, And the more benefits I was finding, the more happy I was. And this is, this is the reason why I continue. And I guess Allah made it easier for me. And my mom knew it that I was waking up early. And she said, why you wake up so early every time? I said, Mom, I have to pray. But she said, why do you have to pray so early? You can pray during the day or you can pray anytime. I said, no, because at night time. I try to explain it, but then they find out, okay, whatever, It's been challenging. They didn't accept it until when I had children. Right now, for the situation we're living, what's happening across the world, We trying to be united as a ummah. We should be, because Allah wants us to be one ummah. And I know it sounds easy to say that, but this is the only way we can achieve more. Now, we have so many reverts, but unfortunately we have some Muslims are leaving Islam. And that's heartbreaking, because that shouldn't happen. What we can do, we can make dua for them. We have to be united, because we know that in the end, Allah promised us the victory. So in this month, inshallah, we hope that Allah can give us joy and happiness towards the year coming.